The information in this podcast is general information and not advice. Stanford Financial is authorised under Australian Credit Licence Number 541480. Further information is available at stanfordfinancial.net.
Hello and welcome to On the Couch with Steve, a podcast where we help you navigate the often complex world of buying and selling real estate. I'm Steve Athanates. I'm the owner of NG Real Estate here in Ipswich. I'm joined today by our great friend Steve Beach from Stanford Financial. And today, what are we going to be talking about? This follows on from a series we did last month about what sort of programs, incentives are available for first home buyers in Queensland. Now, recently we've just had some great news. The Queensland government has doubled the first homeowners grant from 15 to 30,000. There are some conditions and certain properties that it relates to, but fantastic news for all the first home buyers out there. The grant rate has doubled from 15 to 30,000. So Steve, obviously massively exciting news if you're a first home buyer. Tell us about the scheme. Tell us what the special conditions are,
the fine print,
and how you qualify. So give us a rundown. Everyone's dying to know.
I guess, so the Palaszczuk government came out and said, yep, we want to boost construction basically to continue moving forward in Queensland because we need more houses. Again, we keep talking about supply and demand in the property market. This is definitely a way to keep the construction, industry moving forward. So with the announcement, they made some, and we've had a lot of people call up about this. So there are some restrictions in regards to when you can actually, what we call is engaged with the builder. So we've got a lot of people that have signed land contracts but are in the process of actually signing their build contracts, because they generally take a few weeks to draw up and everything along those lines. So any engagement of a build contract from the 20th of November, so that's when you can leave your deposit or sign a contract, from this year till the 30th of June 2025, you're now eligible for the $30,000 first home owners grant. They still have the price cap for construction of $750,000, which is
a fairly decent house, though. Truthfully, isn't it?
So when you think block of land, might pay $250 or something, or $300 in certain areas. Depending where,
$350.
It's getting higher and higher. So it still allows you to buy, build for around that sort of $400,000. Where it kind of doesn't perfectly line up is when you look at the first home guarantee scheme. The construction cap in Queensland is $700,000, so you still have to keep under that sort of threshold. But again, we're seeing a lot of people where they can't utilise the government guarantee scheme. They're utilising sort of the parental guarantees or gifts from parents to purchase up into that $750,000 mark.
All right, so let's be crystal clear. To get the 30 grand, you've got to build a new house. It doesn't relate to established homes. You can't just rock in there and buy a 1960s post-war home and think I'm going to get 30 grand.
There are outside the box, so there's off the plan, which is also it has to be a new home. So what that could be is a fully renovated property as well. So if a building company buys a 1960s, sort of fixer-upper, and they basically, I'm going to use the word knock down, but, basically replace all the bedrooms and the kitchen and the bathroom, so it's a fully renovated property, that can still be considered a first home.
Right. So the other thing is, and I think we talked about this briefly last month, for people who are looking at effectively for maybe cheaper options, units and townhouses, which are bought off the plan, can qualify for this scheme.
Yes, definitely. And again, when you think about the first home deposit scheme, the biggest thing with it is you need 5% genuine savings, and there are not all lenders are doing it, but there are a few lenders that are actually allowing you to utilise that $30,000 as genuine savings if you've got a what they call as a rental ledger. So if you've been renting for a while, you can then turn that into genuine savings. So you might go and find a unit for $400,000 or $500,000. You've basically got the deposit just straight from the government grant.
It's really good. So I guess if you are a first home buyer, obviously this is really exciting news for you. You've really got to understand the special conditions that apply and what makes you eligible for these grants. Obviously this is one of them. This is one of the probably the more exciting ones, because let's face it, how often in life does someone effectively gift you $30,000? It's never happened to me ever. You?
Nope.
No. So, like, for anyone out there who is qualifying, look, everyone's really happy for you. It's a great incentive. Obviously, we're trying to stimulate the economy. We're trying to make sure that they can keep life in the building industry, and we don't continue to lose skilled workers who basically there's not enough houses to build, so they just leave the industry. Really, really hard to replace. But if you're a first homeowner, fantastic news. Obviously, that $30,000 is really going to help. Obviously, we've just talked about it. Interest rates are on hold until February 2024. So even if you're a first home buyer, coupled with the, effectively if you're building new, I've got one of the guys in my office, one of my about to be a business partner, late 20s, early 30s, just actually building his first house right now in Ripley. In Aurora in there. So obviously very excited about the opportunity. He didn't unfortunately qualify for the 30 grand because he signed a contract prior to the 20th of November. But at the end of the day, it's a normal thing. And for, doesn't matter. Sometimes you can be a first home buyer in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s.
We recently did a first home buyer who was 68.
Whoa. Is that a world record? 68
for first home buyer. I think that probably is in our office. But yeah, but utilised all the government grants, everything along those lines. So it worked out quite well for them. So,
well, you imagine? Can you imagine how that person felt at 68 years of age to be buying their very first home, to get a lot of government incentives, including concessions on stamp duty and all sorts of things. Great things. So, to our Queensland government, regardless of which side of politics you're on, great initiative. So very, very exciting if you're a first home buyer and you want to build or buy off the plan. So obviously that's really what we were talking about today and what effect that would have in the marketplace. It's a very competitive marketplace. House prices continue to rise. First homeowners are forced to compete against second, third, fourth and fifth home buyers. So anything that can help you get into the market is a great thing. So I guess it's time to thank everyone for tuning into this episode of On the Couch with Steve. Obviously, special thanks to Steve Beach from Stanford Financial. If anyone needs advice on how to get into that first home, give Steve and the team at Stanford Financial a call. They'll look after you. For anyone else, if you're interested in what we're talking about on the Couch with Steve, obviously just click the link below, subscribe. Obviously, we're going gangbusters. Everyone's loving the content. So to everyone out there, thank you so much. If you'd like to hear some more information or you've got some ideas on what you would like to talk about, feel free to contact us and we'll take into consideration everything you're saying. So once again, I'm Steve Athanates. I'm from NG Real Estate Ipswich, and thank you for joining us On the Couch with Steve.